everybody. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Donna Penna, Worldwide Academy Training Services. If you have just kind of stumbled upon us, welcome. Welcome to our channel. Check us out, Worldwide Academy Training Services.org. You have to spell it all out. We offer an educational platform. We offer in-person and online classes in various and expanding educational programs. But we have in particular been offering classes in things such as CPR, first aid, pet first aid and CPR, one of our biggest classes and offerings, and personal protection for women, for children, for families, safety and security. And then we kind of go into the things that I do, which is tutoring and academic subjects, but also I do dance classes, so ballroom dance classes, social dance classes. Lots of things. We're expanding. So anyway, welcome if you are new, and if you're coming back to the channel, thank you so much. Today, we are going to talk about remedies, home remedies. And I have my friend Fayvah Marie with me today. And she knows what she's talking about, guys. But before we get to that, I just want to please ask you to like, subscribe, share, comment. We really do need your help in getting this information out. More and more people are looking to do this, these kinds of things, and how the algorithms are on YouTube. Unless you do like, subscribe, share, comment, not that many people get to see what we're doing. So if you find value in this, please help us out with that. We are not monetized at this point. So this is, we're all doing this just because we want to get the information out to people as much as we can. So thank you once again. And Faye, thank you. Faye joined us before with our in our foraging discussion. So also, if you are new, take a look at all of our different videos that we've done so far. It was a great and very popular discussion with foraging. So, but anyway, thanks for joining me again. And I want to put this out there right away before we even get started. A disclaimer: we are not doctors. We are not telling you what to do because, we don't want that to hurt our channel or also give any kind of advice that would not be good for you. But Faye, this is a really important topic. I feel like, especially us in the West, and we've gotten away from taking care of things, the things that we can at home for ourselves and our families. And we want a quick fix. We want to just pop the pill. We just want to call the doctor and have them fill out a prescription. And so, just how much money is spent in the pharmaceutical industry, you can see, what people would rather do. And I'm not saying that it's not good, but there are things that we can really take care of on our own, and those who came before us did, right? So anyway, thank you again. Welcome. And
hello, everybody.
Give us a little bit of background on you first, and for those who don't know you.
Everything Donna said was so true. We're living in those times, so we should all be learning something. A little bit about me. I'm in Pennsylvania, more or less towards the eastern side. I think we're 3 hours from New York City. And practically all my life, I heard about remedies from my mom, mostly my grandmother, doing thieves oil, my mom a little bit. And then I really didn't get into it. I heard about it until I had a health crisis. And when I had that health crisis, that really got me started on looking into remedies, looking into things in my area, trying to fix things without pharmaceuticals. I am a retired nurse, so I'm not knocking. If you need a nurse or a doctor, that's perfectly fine. But there are things we can do in our own homes if we need something. And I know there's a lot of people without insurance these days. So, but listen to our disclaimers too. but we want to teach you a little bit about some things that some people might know about, but some people might not know about. I'm 63 years old, and I feel like I'm in better shape than most people. Sometimes I feel like I get things happen to me so I can teach about it, because a lot of the remedies that I'll teach about is things that I've tried. Like I got to know they work, or somebody else I know something worked for. So these things are tried out on many people, and I hope you enjoy our video and come back again and listen to all of our other videos. And Donna's been a friend of mine, and she has a really, really good YouTube channel. If you would all click and like on that, get the word out, because she's teaching about a lot of different things that we need today. You know, many things are going on in the world today, and I think we all, as women especially, need to know some of these things to teach our families, or to show our families, or even if you have young children, to start teaching them these skills of learning. So that's a little bit
Let's
about
get at it. I'm excited. I really am.
I'm always excited in doing these type of things and learning about it. I always love to learn more. So, Donna, you stop me anytime and ask questions. The first one I'm going to show you is a remedy a lot of people know about, but I think I'm going to tell some people some things they don't know about. So the first remedy is the aloe vera plant. Now, here in Pennsylvania, it doesn't grow outside. So you can grow it outside in the summertime, but bring it in for the winter. And I had a pretty huge one, but lately I had to cut it back. There's a little story behind this. But it's good for so many things. I have to tell you the story behind it. So years ago, my aunt lives in the foothills of California. And after going visiting her a few times, I found out she had no aloe vera plant. And so the next time I traveled to California, I took a piece with in my suitcase. I mean, it stays. I mean, the roots are could stay, you know, a couple of days, a week even, before you have to plant it.
Okay.
And I took it with, and I gave it to her. So anyways, I was out there nursing, and it grew, but she could keep it out all year. And so during COVID, I happened to be doing some working there as a nurse during the years of COVID. And her aloe vera plant grew. I mean, it was probably like 3 or 4 feet tall and big and round. But during COVID, when we couldn't find any hand sanitizers or wipes, you couldn't get them in the stores.
That's right.
We decided we were going to cut the aloe vera down, some of it. And because it was so big, like her stems were even much bigger than this. And this is big for in a house.
Yeah.
We cut them down, and we took out, you have to take the outside green off. I have a piece here. Anybody can see it.
Yep, we see it.
Clear on the inside. The clear, you do not eat the green, or if you're going to use it on your skin, you're going to use the clear part of it, the inside. Now, what I want to tell you is maybe a lot of people don't know about. When you cut the aloe vera and you hold it upright over your sink, there is some yellow stuff that comes out of it. That is toxic. Many people don't know not to use that. You should always hang it or set it somewhere upright. So that yellow stuff, it's called aloe, and it's like a latex, and it can be toxic. In other words, if you got too much that you took into your mouth or even on your skin, you can get severe crampings in your stomach, or it can cause a skin reaction.
Wow.
So always want to get that yellow stuff out of there first before you use it.
And what do? You just rinse it? Just rinse
Yeah,
it?
rinse it off, but
Okay.
leave it
Yeah.
stand for 10 minutes because then all of this, it's like a sap almost. All
Okay.
of the sap runs down.
I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Thank you.
It's interesting. Put it in a bag,
Mhm.
and this is how a good way to see it. Put it in a plastic bag and leave it stand in the bag, and then you'll see all the yellow sap is in the bottom of the bag. And you don't use that part of it.
And that's when you cut off the green part,
Yes.
and
Where
then
you
that
cut
sap will
at it
come out.
runs out of the cut,
Okay.
seeps out of there.
Okay.
And it's called aloin, ALOIN.
Okay.
But anyways, aloe vera is so good for you. It alkalizes you. You can ingest it. You can eat a little bit if you're constipated, or I have these wonderful veggie caps that I do sell in doTERRA. You can
Mhm.
use these veggie caps for a lot of different things, but you could even put some of this clear in there, just a little bit, because everybody's body is different if you're constipated. But also,
Okay.
just lately, I had cut my finger and I've been putting aloe vera on it now after the stitches came out, and it's healing up really nice. There's hardly nothing there now.
Wow.
But it helps for
Great.
skin. It's a high antioxidant. It's also a detox. Like, even if you don't have stomach problems, if you want to take a little bit of it, and you can just throw that clear in your mouth. You don't have to put it in the capsule. But it's
And
good.
just a little bit of it, just a
Yeah,
little,
just a little tiny
like
bit, because you have to
like a
see how your body reacts. Everybody's
okay.
body reacts differently.
So can
And
you
it
put
can
that
cause
on? I'm sorry. Go
diarrhea
ahead.
if you take too much.
Okay. Can you put that on, like, if you have eczema or
Yes, any skin problem, and especially it helps burns,
right, I
especially.
heard that. Yes.
Yeah. It's so good for you. Oh, and it's
Mm,
also good for oral health. If you have gum problems, uh, periodontal disease, you can just take a little bit of that and rub it on your gums.
okay.
Oh, I wanted to tell you how we made the wipes. So what
Yeah.
we did was, yeah, the wipes, and we made like hand gel. We cut off all of the clear, that
Hmm.
we cut off all that, and we put it in a little pot and simmered it. And then you can add a little alcohol to it to sustain it, to keep it so it don't get moldy or anything. And then you could put it into like a pump bottle, or we made wipes. You can either make cloth wipes if you want, or we used paper towels that we had, but we were running out of paper at that time.
Hmm.
So we were cutting cloth towels, and then you could use that for wipes. And then you just put it in, you can put it into a plastic bag or a plastic container to keep.
Mm.
And that's all you do. You add a little alcohol to it.
That's really good to know.
But
Really
it
good, because
helped
we're in
because
that season again.
when I was a nurse, we totally ran out of those little bottles of hand sanitizer.
Hmm.
So then I was dumping it in those little bottles and taking it within the work, and I actually gave some out to other people.
Okay.
But see how COVID reacted to all of us. I mean, you couldn't even buy toilet paper
Yeah.
in California.
Yeah.
Was
Because
it was
everybody
it
was going
happening
out
here
and
in
buying it.
Pennsylvania?
People were just stocking up on it. That's why.
Yeah, I know.
Craziness. But we're in that kind of season again.
Yes.
So it's good to know
So,
these things.
so that was one thing, and especially cuts, it helps and scrapes. Oh, and it
Okay.
helps your skin for wrinkles too. If you want to put a little bit on every day, go ahead.
Oh,
It
I'm
helps
going out by aloe vera today for sure.
your skin.
Around your
Well,
eyes?
anybody, yeah, around your eyes, don't get it in your eye, but it doesn't,
Yeah.
I don't think it would hurt your eye if you didn't get too much in it. Um,
Yeah.
but don't go buying any. I can give you some.
Oh, good. Okay. Yeah. Well, I'll meet you halfway.
They grow pretty good in the house, so.
Okay. Okay, that's wonderful. Because I didn't know all those different, I mean, I knew about, putting it on for like burns, but I didn't know all the other benefits. So that's really good
Yeah, and
and easy,
aloe's in the
cheap.
Bible. It's in the Bible too, you know.
Hmm.
So,
Is
oh,
it?
also it helps arthritis pain. If you're in a bad bout of arthritis, you can take some of that. And
Oh,
it,
I definitely, because I'm asking you about these things because I'm thinking about my mother who breaks out every once in a while. Could be the medication she's on, the food she's eating, whatever, her body. And she just will get a huge hive or I think the other night her hands were
you put it
itching.
on that, sure.
So, but yeah, what you just said is really, I'm gonna get that for her.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's worth having in your house.
Okay. So what do so is that it for aloe vera? We're gonna
Yep,
go on to
that's
the
it
next
for
one. All
aloe
right.
vera.
Okay. That's a lot. It's
I know.
amazing.
Now the next thing I have uh is salt.
Mm,
And we are the salt of the earth.
yes.
But salt, and it's in the Bible so many times. I actually have a study, if you want to study about salt, um, biblically. But
Mm-hmm.
anyways, it is so good for you.
Mm,
But lately, I don't know if people have heard of this. It's called salt wash or soul, SOLE wash. And what that does
mhm.
is, well, let me tell you how to make it first.
Okay.
So for this salt wash, you can use, I prefer Himalayan salt or
Mm-hmm.
Celtic salt or the Redmond Ancient
Yeah.
Pine Sea salt.
Okay.
So with any of them kinds, what you want to do is like 8 ounces, you want to put a teaspoon of salt in the bottom
Okay.
and put it in a window for a couple days. And then what you do is you just take a teaspoon of the water daily, not
So
not
can I
salt
stop you there
itself.
can I stop you there
Sure.
for a second? So the water that you have in there, what kind of water do you have?
Okay, so I'm just using my well water, but you can
Okay.
use distill. I have very good well water, but I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't use town water because it has chlorine or
No,
whatever, and I
I don't
would get
use it.
distilled or spring water.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Um, because I have good, we don't put nothing in our well water. We just get it
Okay.
tested. And as the water is going down, though, you can keep adding more water. And if you see that there's no pink or salt on the bottom of it, then you add another teaspoon. It's 1 teaspoon to 8 ounces.
Okay.
And what that is good
Taking
for,
notes.
good for so many things. It's a natural detox. It can take the place if you don't have magnesium capsules to take. Many people take
Mm-hmm.
magnesium for your heart, for muscle cramps.
Yeah.
How as we get older, a lot of us are getting those leg cramps. And if you don't have the vitamin magnesium to take, you can use this in place because it has so many minerals in it. And I've tried it because I do take magnesium for heart health and for
Okay.
leg cramps. And especially too, if you're young and working out, your
Mm-hmm.
muscles get tired. It's for tired muscles.
Right.
It also is good for headaches.
Oh.
Um, Two, I've done a lot of fasting in my life, and I'm not suggesting it to people unless they know how to do it. But sometimes you get that headache and fasting. Well, then you should take a teaspoon. Or if you're really tired one day and just feel groggy,
Mm-hmm.
this actually gives you energy because there's so many minerals in it. It's
Okay.
just, and your metabolism. It also can help you with exercise. It can help you with losing weight because it helps your metabolism.
So so are you drinking a full jar of that every day or just,
Oh, no, you take 1 teaspoon of the water a day.
oh, okay, that's
The
all you
water
need.
in it that's on
Yeah.
the top here, you just take 1 teaspoon of
Okay.
the water. And then you can drink other water after it. It doesn't
Right.
taste too bad.
Well, you know
Um,
what? I every morning I do a drink like just to get myself rehydrated and stuff out. I'll do like a little bit of water, and I squeeze lemon in it and put apple cider vinegar, and then I also add my salt, my pink Himalayan salt,
that's fine. See, you're doing it
and a
already.
little bit of cinnamon to take, you know. So I feel,
Yeah.
and that's supposed to be good for your like cleansing your liver, I think it said, and
Yeah,
that,
it
but
can do
also
that.
because I'm thirsty in the morning, so to
Yeah.
get my recharge my body, get it going. So
So you're
that's
doing that
good.
already. I mean,
Yeah.
salt in all forms. Now, what I want to say about the Himalayan salt, I should have got my Himalayan salt blocks out too, because sometimes I make meat or something on it. I have
Mm,
salt blocks,
okay.
and they're good for grilling. But anyways, Himalayan salt does the opposite of what regular salt does. People who have a lot of heart problems and everything and swell up, they're not supposed to be taking the white salt or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But what Himalayan salt does, it does the opposite. It helps you release fluid out of your body. It helps lower blood pressure.
Mm,
So that's good to know.
yes.
Um, I get a couple different kinds wherever I can find it, but
Mm-hmm.
the Himalayan salt comes from other countries, the Indies and
Mm-hmm.
China, Pakistan, and that.
I
Where the red one comes right from our country in Utah.
right. You know what I like what you've done so far is that it's very simple, doesn't take a lot of time or effort, and it's cheap. You know, it's, I mean, it's
Yes.
not expensive. It's not, I'm one that takes supplements too, and I've been looking at the supplements that I'm taking, and I'm like, okay, what can I do to even start cutting out some of those and just have the natural things? It's so, because they're so expensive,
Yeah.
and we're all having to cut down and to really have a budget these days. So I love what you're showing us that is really not expensive and really doesn't take a lot of time to do. So,
No, no. And there's one other salt that I really have a lot of information behind is Epsom salt, believe it or not.
mm,
Epsom salt, the food grade, you have to always make sure, you get the good stuff on any of these salts.
okay,
Okay.
yeah.
But Epsom salt, the food grade, uh, you can get rid of gallstones with that,
Ooh,
literally. Plus, it not only gets rid of gallstones while it's a flush that you would do with Epsom salt. Now, I'm not
wow.
going to explain the whole thing here because some people, you need a coach to do this flush, but you could reach
Okay.
out to me through Donna's website and I could coach you.
I
But
actually thought about that. I have somebody I'm gonna, because he's been waiting for an operation for his gallstones, and uh,
I tell you, my whole family has had gallstones.
I've heard they're
I
very
found
painful.
out about this probably in, I think it was 2008.
Hmm.
Um, and I thought, well, actually, two of my one sibling, my mother had to have her gall out. And me as a believer doesn't really want to get rid of any of my organs. Okay.
Hmm.
So I was researching, actually, somebody in our church said to me, did you ever do the gallbladder flush? And I'm like, no. So they actually were there to coach me to do it
Hmm.
through the phone. They called me in that.
Okay.
But I bet you half of a bottle like this. I saved it because they tell you to get a colander and put it in the toilet. And I saved it. And I bet you half of this was full of gallstones.
Wow.
But not only does it help that, um, you remember Minister Abner? It helps asthma and lung problems and mucus. He had really bad asthma, so bad that he was
Mm.
getting the barrel chest. And
Oh.
so he couldn't I do the 3-day flushes, but he was only able to do the 1-day flush. And after he did that flush of the Epsom salt, he only needed one inhaler and his chest started going back to normal.
Mm,
He used to get bronchitis a couple times a year, and after that, he never got bronchitis again.
wow.
But the Epsom salt flush is a little harder to do because you have to do it with olive oil.
Okay.
And it isn't that you're just drinking the Epsom salt. It's kind of like you have to prepare for it because it's a
Okay.
3-day flush. And like if you're a coffee drinker or you eat a lot of meat, you got to be preparing for it a week in advance. So if
Okay.
anybody is interested in that, I'd rather them reach out to me
Mm-hmm.
because there are some questions.
Yeah,
You
we're not gonna, yeah, because we don't want to put
Yeah.
it on here,
So we're
but yeah.
just telling you how good the salts are for you and how
Yeah.
it heals. It heals a whole body. Also, it can heal allergies too. So there's many
Wow.
things with salt that can heal many of these different things. Um, and the funny part of the Epsom salt flush was I could actually feel the stones coming down through my bile ducts. You can feel it moving.
Wow. Oh my
It was
goodness.
something.
I bet you were so relieved though.
I know. I never felt better after I did that. My son happened to be home from the service at the time when the time I was doing it. And
Mm-hmm.
I come out with this bottle and they're like, what's that? But anyways, that's
Wow.
interesting. To me, salt,
Yeah.
we are the salt of the earth. And Abba Father uses salt for many things in healing, you
We
know.
might have to do a whole show on just salts because I
I
would
think
really like to talk
so.
more about the healing
Yeah,
of
and
the
then we could put in
allergies.
some biblical things too with it because there's so much to it.
Mhm. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. I'm taking notes here, by the way. If you see me looking down, I'm taking notes.
Okay,
I
that's all
just
right.
All right. So what do you have
All
for
of
us
this
next?
stuff I do have in my email. So if anybody does want to reach out to me, Donna will have my email at the end. I have things in email that I can send people to help them with
Okay.
any of what we're talking about.
Yeah. Wonderful. All right.
Okay.
What's next?
The next thing we're going to talk about is garlic, cloves, and honey.
Oh, I've heard something about this.
Now, we all know garlic is good for you, but you know how it is. I think we talked about this before, Donna. It does make you smell,
Yeah.
you know. So people do buy garlic tabs that don't make you smell and all that. But this isn't something like I take every day. You could, if you don't mind, having that garlic smell. And I love garlic,
Mm-hmm.
but this is so good for many things. First of all, the garlic is good for cardiac problems, for cholesterol.
Okay.
If you're getting sick, I think it was last week, I kind of felt like I was getting sick or something, like I don't, like something was coming on. So
Right.
I took some of this, and you know what, whatever it was went away. It's also good because it's in honey. Now get the good honey. We
Mhm.
still have honey from our one friend who had passed away. He had bees. So this was really the good raw honey. Honey is good for allergies in your own area. Like always get the honey from your own area. And this is
Mm.
garlic that we grew. We can grow garlic here in Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
It all the way around between the honey and the garlic. It's for your immune system.
Okay.
Um, it has natural antibiotic properties, they say. It
Mm-hmm.
supports your immune system, maintains it. It can relieve a cold. If you already have a cold, it can relieve a cold. It's antiviral. So virus, think about that. Viruses are different than bacteria.
Yeah.
So viruses, a lot of times antibiotics don't kill viruses, but
Right.
this actually is antiviral. And if you are sick, I would take a teaspoon of this with a clove in it every day till you start feeling better. It isn't going to hurt you to take it every day, but I only really take it if I need it.
If you're feeling it.
Yeah.
Tell us how do you, like, what's the, how do you make it? Like,
Okay, so all you do is just peel your cloves, and if you want to cut some up, which I did, cut some up so that it really gets into the honey, and
no
then pour your
specific
honey
amount?
over top of it. Keep it in the fridge. Now, it gets more liquidy because of the garlic. You know how honey's thick? So all it is the honey and the garlic, but it will get liquidy because of the
Does,
garlic breaks it down.
does it have to be a certain amount of garlic to so much
No,
honey, or
mm-mm.
just mix it
Yeah,
in? Okay.
however you want to do it. I usually put in a whole clove. I'm not a whole clove, a whole thing of garlic that has a
Okay.
couple of cloves in it, and then cut a little bit up. And then put your honey, cover the honey over top of it, put it that way.
Okay.
And then it
Okay.
gets liquidy like this.
And then keep it in the fridge.
Keep it in the fridge. Yep. And it will stay liquidy.
Okay.
That's because the garlic makes it that way. It breaks it down.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
that is just so good for you. Another thing you could do is, if you do have an open area, you could put a tad of this honey. They say honey helps decubitus ulcers, which I know as a nurse, I used that remedy on somebody in a nursing home. I asked if I was allowed to do it. And they were already using honey bandages in our nursing home that I worked at. But I said, no, I just want to bring honey from home and put it. And they left me. And the man said, yeah, go ahead. He was a younger man who used to race, and he had a decubitus ulcer on his foot that hadn't been healed in 4 years. I
Wow.
started putting this on his foot
Mm-hmm.
and bandaging it. And guess what? It healed, went completely shut.
Give us a definition for what kind of ulcer is that called?
Decubitus means the ulcer goes pretty far into the skin. Sometimes it can go into like into the third layer, past the third layer. It can start tunneling.
Oh, okay.
Like a
Not
decubitus,
good.
what normal people call it is a bed sore.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But some racing people who don't wear the right shoes, they get these ulcers on their feet and they let it go until it gets so infected. And then it goes in further than it should. You know, the infection keeps going and going. And that's
Yeah.
what happened to that young man. And he was in the nursing home 5 years and still young. Like he
Oh.
was only, I think, in his late 40s when he went into the nursing home.
Oh.
And they just couldn't heal it. And the honey and garlic healed it.
Wow. That's amazing.
But
It's just amazing.
yeah, it is.
Okay.
And it's good to know because, you know, our elderly population is going up because we're from the baby boomers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And many people are having to take care of their elderly parents now at home. And it happened to us where we had to take care of our mother, and she moved in with us because we're on like one floor.
Mm-hmm.
And you never think of how a decubitus ulcer could happen so fast. But when you're laying or sitting and not walking around, it happens.
Yeah.
And it's nothing that we did wrong. It just skin breakdown when you get older.
Right. It's
And
thinner.
it can be used on animals too, you know, like this stuff.
Okay.
You know,
That's good to
same as
know.
the aloe vera. It could be used on animals for any
Wow.
soups or anything like that.
Okay, that's good to know.
But beans that has two wonderful properties in the garlic and the honey. I mean, it's amazing. And honey and garlic both are in the Bible.
Wow.
So it should be something like growing up, you know, living in Pennsylvania, you eat the
We should know
Pennsylvania
these.
Dutch way. And we weren't brought up on eating garlic until I started turning towards Mediterranean style foods, you know, and then I started realizing garlic.
Yeah. And in the Italian families we were, but
Yes,
but
that's
not
good.
for like remedies. And it's interesting because there have been studies that have been done on Italians and the things that they, the wine that they drank and and just their diet and things like that, and how strong their hearts were, especially in the Rosetta area. You probably know about that
Yeah,
study. And it was probably like they didn't even really know that's why, but they just had it in their diet. And oh,
right.
we're so far from that. We really, and I think this is why I think it's so important in this time, and what we're doing, that what you're doing, what individuals are doing, is getting this information back out again, and especially to the younger generation, and if they have to realize that what's going in the foods now is just, it's not even food,
Right.
half of it,
It's not
but they're
food.
going to need to know this stuff. And so that's why I think it's so important what we're doing now. We've got to get this information back out there again and get back to it. So, okay.
We
So,
do. And there's people out there. I just landed a girl on our biblical skills site. I just met her the other night, and she said, she came out of public school and is starting to homeschool. And because she's homeschooling, she's finding all these new things out. And she
mhm,
even started talking about the feasts because she's homeschooling. So
mhm.
she just went on to our biblical skills awareness site on Facebook, and she wants to know more about remedies. She's starting to teach her daughter some skills. She said
Great,
it's been so out
great.
that nobody taught their kids this stuff anymore.
Mhm.
I said,
By the
you're
way, we need
so
to put
right.
that link. We need to put that link below for your,
Yes, we
so that
will.
people can go there. So, okay. So we have
Okay.
another one? Where we
Yep.
at? We're at number 4,
We
right?
have
All right.
another interesting one.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh, this is a big one. All right.
Let's see if I can get it up. If you can see like layers
Uh-huh.
there, almost
Yeah.
looks like mushroom.
Yeah.
See the layers? This is kombucha.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And I took I call them babies. They have babies. And I took one out. It kind of looks like a mushroom, but it
Hmm.
gets layers of these.
Looks like a tortilla.
Yeah. But basically, what it's like is mostly everybody eats yogurt.
Mm-hmm.
The little tiny cultures that are in yogurt. Well, this is a big culture.
Oh.
But what it's made in black tea. And
Oh.
it's really simple to make. How I found out about it, there's a story behind that. Years ago, me and a couple of my nursing friends had private duty care for people. And we were doing round the clock care. I mean, literally, it had grown. We had like 8 clients that we were taking care of round the clock. And there were 6 of us nurses. And you can only drink so much coffee to stay. I literally hate third shift, but I had to work third shift. And because we were taking turns,
Mm-hmm.
and you literally get sick of coffee.
Mm.
I went to the health food store, and I said to this woman who owned the health food store, I said, what could I use in place of coffee? She goes, I have the right thing for you. A case just came in. I said, what? She goes, it's kombucha. I never heard of it before. I mean, this was years and years and years ago. So
Mm-hmm.
I took the case to my girlfriend, and I left it there at the one client's house where we worked third shift the most. I said, let's try this out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I tell you what, it made you feel good, not like caffeined up like coffee does. And you got through the night, and then you could go to sleep in the morning. But kombucha is so many good things. It's actually like a lactic acid. And
Mm.
they used it in Russia a lot. In Russia, there was a big outbreak of women getting breast cancer. This is a long time ago. So my first kombucha baby I got was from Russia. And only you can buy them online, but for me, I don't think I'd ever sell them, because I think it's the person who gave it to me said to me, these are to give away for free to help people.
Okay.
But people do sell them online.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, mine was from Russia. And the first time I'd ever had a baby, I'm like dancing around the house and it finally had a baby, you know? So you make it in tea. It's black tea. You take about 5 tea bags. It's real
Uh-huh.
easy. 5 tea bags and let them steep in, good boiling water for about 20 minutes and take the tea bags out. And then it's a gallon of water. And then you
Okay.
put a whole cup of sugar. Now I use the good, organic cane sugar.
Okay.
A whole cup of sugar, because what those cultures thrive on is the sugar. But you're not really getting a sugar content in the kombucha liquid, because they eat that. That's what they eat.
Okay.
And this is good for cancer, constipation. The first time I started using it, it was when you're younger, you always have these constipation problems or whatever. You're not regular because your life is so busy. Well, I couldn't believe, and if I could say this, everybody who starts on the kombucha says they go to the bathroom and it's a foot long because it literally cleanses your intestine out
Wow.
when you first start
Like that
drinking it.
word picture.
Yeah. And it detoxifies your liver. It's a natural probiotic, has all of the B vitamins in it. It has calcium in it. It has vitamin K, phosphorus, folate in it. And it gives you energy. So it's something that I would not drink a glass before I go to bed.
I was gonna say, how often you drink something like this? Just when you need it, or?
You can drink it every day, but like I said, I wouldn't drink it, a couple hours before bed.
Yeah.
Another thing that it does is if you have literally warts or skin problems, you cut a piece of this off
Mm-hmm.
and you tape it onto a wart or a skin problem, and it heals it quickly. It takes the wart off.
Wow.
Yeah. And it also can draw things out. Like if you tape it over
Oh,
something, it can draw things out.
okay.
Now,
Um,
I've heard people in other countries eat this, but I can't.
so
I
tell
can't.
me, I'm not, I don't, maybe you said this already, but that piece of whatever, kombucha, whatever, what is it? What is it? Is it a plant? Is it, what does,
Yeah, it's culture, a culture.
oh, it's a
So,
culture. You said that.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
a
Okay.
culture.
Okay. Interesting. Wow.
Just
That's
like you would
amazing.
eat yogurt, yogurt starts out with a culture.
Culture. Yeah. Okay. Got it.
And
Yeah.
another good, neat thing. Now, what I do is, so this is the plain tea, and you should keep it in a dark room. I mean, my kitchen isn't that dark, but I have it on the counter where no
Mhm.
sun's hitting it. Every 10 days, you take the liquid out of it, but you keep the mother always in it in the bottom,
Okay.
like you would vinegar, to start a new batch.
Oh, okay.
People know how to make sourdough starters or vinegar. You always keep about that much in the bottom of the liquid. It's called the mother, to start a new batch. But then what I do, this is the neat thing. If you make it right, it tastes like soda. You
I've had
use,
some of that.
yeah,
Yes.
if you use some of the liquid and do it before, like when the 10 days is up, the longer you have it in there, the stronger it's going to get. But if you take it by 10 days, then you mix it with a fruit juice, any kind of juice, and it
Oh,
gets real fizzy. It will get a fizz on top of it.
okay.
Like everybody likes the grape that I make, or the strawberry.
Okay.
Um, this is something I want to sell at some point because I like doing it. I had gotten bottles and caps and everything, but there's special licenses you have to get to sell.
Right. And then you can just drink that whenever you want it. I mean, you just
Yeah,
like keep it in your fridge
yeah.
and
The neat thing is that we've been doing in the Bible, it talks about new wine.
mm,
You know how long it takes to make wine. If anybody's made wine, my husband and I do make homemade wine, so it can be, a lot of
hmm.
work. This is so simple. We call it new wine. You can make kombucha grape new wine by doing it. So if I have people coming over for a service, you know, and we do the Melchizedek blessing, what I'll do is I'll take some of the kombucha out of this main container, and then I add grape juice to it maybe 2 or 3 days before they come. Then it's considered new wine. See, the fermentation isn't, when you're making wine, you need wine yeast. But here you have the fermentation. You don't need yeast.
Okay. Okay.
So it's called new wine, and people like it, you know?
Wow.
Well, ask me
That
for it.
sounds
They're
yummy.
people that make me some new wine. I'm like, okay.
That's good.
And you don't get drunk from it. Like, it's not,
Yeah.
people do say that it gets alcoholic in it, like alcohol in it.
Hmm.
But I've read so many different things on it. I mean, you can have it in your car. If it was in your car and you got stopped by the police, it couldn't be alcoholic, you know? I mean,
Right.
you can get testers to test it, but it's never made me feel funny or anything like that.
Yeah,
It gives
well,
energy with anything, you know?
yeah,
But anyway,
yeah.
some people won't drink it that are alcoholics or have something against alcohol because and I say no, because the culture thrives on the sugar and eats the sugar up, then it's tea, and there's no way alcohol could be in there.
Maybe they're just feeling the effects from the energy,
Yeah,
the energy instead. But
it
wow,
could be.
that's really amazing. All right. Last
So
one. You
that's
got one more?
interesting. And if anybody lives close by or whatever, I have many of these babies I can give you or whoever.
Okay.
I probably
Is
wouldn't
it,
send it in the mail, but because then you don't know if it would make it in time, you know.
is that
Um,
something that children can drink or
yeah, they can have a little bit. Yeah.
I was just thinking like a replacement for soda, but then, like, or those energy drinks that they drink, like the
Yeah,
teens and
the
stuff.
children could have a little as long as
Or
they have just a little bit, I would say,
like
not
the
like a full
teens.
adult glass.
Yeah. I
You
just
can
wonder.
make it lemon, you can make it grape, you can make it strawberry, you can make it any kind you want, even if you want it to make it like a root beer. I've done that already. Or another thing that I do with it, you put spices in it too. Like you can do one with like a spice drink kind of thing, like
Okay.
an apple cider drink.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm loving it. All right. One more, right?
Okay, we'll do one more.
Yeah.
So this one, I tell you what, this one's amazing. Just in the last month, we actually have someone that did this, and it maintained them and supported their heart. Okay, and Donna was with me. So in the spring, it's called the lemon fast or lemon juice.
Mm-hmm.
Lemons are so good for you.
Mm.
All the way around. And Donna, you said in the drink you do, you put lemon in it too, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Lemons are high in vitamin C. It's a citrus. It actually alkalizes your body. It doesn't acidify. You would think it would acidify, but it does the opposite. It alkalizes. It's a natural diuretic. You do want to get the organic lemons if you're going to be doing, lemons.
Yeah.
But I want to tell you about arrhythmias. Since COVID, so many people have gotten arrhythmias. Also, with all of the stuff that we have in our houses, like the Wi-Fi, when they up that to 5, the satellites that are around us, all of the stuff, people are living in smart houses, smart refrigerators. We have these smartphones.
Mm-hmm.
All of this stuff combined are
Right.
causing arrhythmias. It's really, really skyrocketed with people having these problems. And
Mm-hmm.
because of the arrhythmias, people are having to get pacemakers. They're having to get fibrillators, on a whole lot of pharmaceuticals.
Yes.
And I think Abba Father gave me something here that was going to help people. Years ago, I had an arrhythmia, and that's why I started my health crisis. When I was younger, I think I was still in my late 20s. I had a V-fib, it was called, and it was an arrhythmia. And doctor had given me this medicine, and it made me, I couldn't function. And when you have an arrhythmia, you feel like you're always scared, like your heart beats so fast and you can feel it palpitating. And it gives you that fear thing where, like, even if somebody would walk by the window or you had this anxiety all the time, it was so bad. So anyways, a friend of mine had told me about the lemon fast. And back then, that's what started my health crisis, or fixed it. I did this lemon fast for 10 days. And that's another fast that if anybody wants to reach out to me about, I can coach on. But all it is organic lemon water and then lots of water you drink, and it put my heart back into shape. Well, lo and behold, I worked out in Pittsburgh here a couple years ago, and there's a lot of nuclear plants. There's a lot of satellites. There's a whole bunch of technology things out in Pittsburgh. Everybody knows that. And I ended up with this arrhythmia again. And it was during COVID. And there weren't no doctors to be had, even because even though I'll go to it, I'll know what it is and know how to treat it. I still want to go to a doctor to get diagnosed, and I'm not telling nobody not what to do or to do. Right. And he said, you have an arrhythmia. So anyways, I came back home, and this was worse than the first time it happened to me. I mean, it was bad. That literally the doctor told me I was going to die. There was no way my heart could keep going like this. And I started on the lemon fast, and I was planning to do 10 days of it. And in the meantime, the cardiologist I had set me up for an operation. It was called ablation. I finally said yes to it, but in the meantime, I said, I'm praying that this fast is going to fix it, right? And everybody was praying, and I did the fast. Well, here something went on personally in my life while I was doing the fast, and I only was able to do 3 days of it. But within the 3, instead of the 10 days, within the 3 days, I was feeling better. And it stopped. And I called the doctor up. I said, cancel that appointment. I said, I was healed. And he's like, what did you do? And I told him. He said, no, why don't you still come down for the appointment? And then if we see there's nothing wrong, then we'll, not do it. I'm like, oh, okay, right. So I go down, right? Literally, they prepped me with the anesthesia and all this and that. And I remember waking up not soon after and him saying to me, you're right, there's nothing wrong now. In the meantime, this past spring, we had a friend that Donna and I had went on a vacation down to Florida. And I prayed about, whenever we go anywhere, I pray about who's to come with us that needs some help, not to just go have fun or whatever. Donna and I are always mindset and helping other people. So I had this friend, and she said, oh, could I come down? I want to talk to you about, I'm in a health crisis. I said, sure. So she came down, and it was similar to this arrhythmia I was telling everybody about that I had. So I told her what to do about the lemons. And she said when she got home, she was going to try to do this. Well, actually, they had inserted something into her heart, and she wanted it out, and they wouldn't take it out. Hers was AFib, though. It wasn't V-fib like I had. And so I said, okay, we'll be praying. And she said I could say this. She said, I don't care who you tell, because she said, I'm better. Anyways, about 2 weeks ago, she felt better after she did the lemon fast. She said, it's amazing. She goes, I'm healed. I was maintained and supported and relieved of this thing. She goes, so she went to her doctor and said she wanted that thing out of her heart, right? And the first doctor said, no, we can't do that. She said, I don't want that in there. I want it out. Because when you have these things in your heart, like a pacemaker, whatever it may be, you can't go near certain things, you know, can get radioactive. Or think about it. Maybe if you're in a high zone where all of this stuff goes on in technology, you could get zapped, really. Anyways, she said, no, I'm not stopping. She calls another doctor, and it had to go by her insurance and everything. The other doctor said, yeah, why don't you come in and we'll review it. It took a good long while, though, before they were able to take it out. Well, 2 weeks ago, she went and had it out. Praise the Lord. The lemons helped her.
It's amazing.
Supported her heart and relieved it, and she's doing wonderful.
That is amazing. I mean, this stuff, he even says in the word about, you know, the leaves and will be for the healing of the nations. I mean, everything we needed. What happened? Where did we go that we ended up where we are now? You know, but we're going back. We're going back. I always say we're going back to the garden, you know? That's amazing. Oh, that's such, I bet she was just elated. I mean,
just things in nature can help us, like Donna said, that the leaves, the plants, even down to the dirt, even by walking barefoot, we can,
grounding, yep.
Things can help us, you know, can relieve our problems.
Oh, well, that is amazing. Well, I think that's going to be an amazing story to just end this with, Faye. This has been wow, you packed a lot of stuff in an hour, and I know you have a bunch more. You should write a book. And
someday.
I just so appreciate, you know, we're going to put some links below that you can get in touch with Faye. And once again, we're not saying that all this stuff is going to work for you. We're not saying, you know, anything that we're, you know, as Faye has said over and over again, that you need to definitely, just like the last woman that we talked about and how she said that she had to check with her doctors, you know, it's always good to know that. But wow, such good, useful information. And I think we should probably just keep doing some of these periodically to help people, to give them some more information, or however we're led to do that. So any closing words that you want to have?
I thank Donna for letting me come on, and for these YouTube videos to go out and help many people, because that's what my friend Donna and I are about, helping people and seeing them have a better life and not living with infirmities, you know, or things that are bothering us.
Yes.
I believe we're daughters of the Most High King, and he doesn't want us suffering, and he doesn't want you suffering, nobody suffering either. I don't care what walk of life you're in. He wants you to be relieved of whatever you have.
Yes. Awesome. High five.
Okay. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, everybody. Don't forget, like, subscribe, share, comment, help us get the word out to others. And listen, if you try any of this stuff and you've, you know, it's helped you, let us know, and we'll put my email below. Our Worldwide Academy Training Services. Go over on our Facebook page, Faye's page, say it again, Biblical Skills and Awareness. We'll put her link below. And yeah, just, you know, just we pray, we hope that you walk in wellness today, wealth and prosperity. All right. So thank you, everybody. I'll see you on the next show. Ciao.